All right, 5 minutes have passed. Let's get on rolling. Welcome in, everyone. We are in Season 4 of the Vision Corsa IndyCar Series presented by the Prodigy Racing Association. Thomas Cuthbert here, also known as Orion I, as we bring you our second half of Season 4. We head on to the first oval of this second half. We are headed to the Iowa Speedway today. For our final race of the month of April, we'll then go to the Detroit Grand Prix over at Belle Isle, go to the Pocono Raceway the week after. Then it's Barber Motorsports Park and the Michigan International Speedway. Couple things to note. I believe we have a couple new drivers, and I did not get the chance to punch those in, unfortunately. So a couple things to know. When we get to them, I will shout them out as we get through this roster section. Let's go through who we know we have for now. Robert Hensley in the 00 with Daniel DeRozzo in the 2. Robert Fisk the 6. Zach Lesenby the 06. Roger Saucier the 7. Danny Ray the 08. And Matthew Bird in the 9. Joe Nerton pilots the 10 with Ben Zahn in the 11. Marlo Duncan the 12. Jimmy Sallow in the 14. Bob Gangwer the 15. And Aaron Fontaine the 18. David Nannon pilots the 21. Devin Lyons will get the 24. Adam Miller, the 25. Kyle Decker, the 26. Micah Mixer in the 28. And Rodney Roberts in the 29. Christopher Mullins will pilot the 32 with Alex Jones behind the wheel of the 45. Alex Jones, the winner of Season 2 of the Vision Corsa IndyCar Series. Guillermo Perret in the 52. Nick Russell, the 53. And Nick Pollard, the 55. Andy Zhu pilots the 69. Matthias Marcomini in the 77, Jacob Schneider in the 81, Stephen Hassett, the 91. Austin LeBlanc will be in the 111 with Spencer Torrance in the 120, Ali Chastain, the 136, Brad Marath, the 384, and Paul Boomershine in the 925. Another thing to note is for those of you who remember the All-Star race, we had Nathan Scott Maru in that race. Well, I am here to report that not only will he be in for this race, Nathan Scott Maru has officially joined the lineup as a driver on the roster. He's officially part of Season 4 of this series, and so he'll be joining us, hopefully, for the next 4 races. Right now has not logged into the session yet, but we do have 15 minutes before the qualifying session begins. In fact, a little bit more than that. We're at 16:45 remaining in the practice. Now, another thing to note is the standings got jumbled around a little bit. From what I was informed, there was some incomplete data entry as far as SimRacer Hub was concerned. Some races were not giving points. Some races were giving the wrong amount of points, especially when it came to qualifying. And so the standings as we knew them were incorrect. And now, thank you so much to Joey Kuba, who has been helping in the admin role in the back end for the IndyCar series, has been sort of ramping up his role. And a big step for us has been these standings, which were apparently incorrect. He's gone through and he's changed them all. Thank you so much, Kuba. Much appreciated all the way home. Let's get to our new look standings. First up, in first place is still Micah Mixer with 287 points. He leads the way. Right behind him is Alex Jones with the 260. Aaron Fontaine goes up to third with those last place provisional points with 234. Nick Pollard in his participation and victory in the last race over at Mid-Ohio. He goes up to fourth with 233. Marlo Duncan did not register for last place provisional points and is down to fifth with 227. Joe Nerton, for his part, he stays in sixth at the moment. Bob Gangwer does move up the standings as we predicted. He's up to seventh now, leapfrogging Marcomini, who is now in eighth, sitting at 168. James Nias, who is now retired at this point and no longer part of the series, he sits at ninth with 131. Jimmy Sallow at 10th with 128. The standing positions from here on out are going to be the exact same as last week because no other drivers that could have changed the bottom 15 participated. However, the numbers of the amount of points that they have is going to be different. So we're still going to go through them one by one. We'll start at the top with Zach Lesenby. He now sits at 114 points in P11. Spencer Torrance and Rodney Roberts are now tied for P12 with 76 each. Kyle Deckard is at P14 with 70 points to his name. Matthew Bird in 15th with 67. Danny Ray in P16 with 66. David Nannon's got 64 points to put him in P17. Robert Hensley is in 18th with 63 points. Adam Miller in 19th with 39, and Robert Fisk has 38 points, good for 20th place. And in the bottom 5 of our standings, Nick Russell, Christopher Mullins, Andy Zhu, Roger Saucier. I believe it's actually Andy Zhao. I apologize. Andy Zhao, Roger Saucier, and Ali Chastain. None of the races that were messed up by the point system affected these drivers. And so these drivers, their points are correct, their standing position is correct. And with that, we can hit the track and head to the nighttime Iowa Speedway for this run. Let's get the track map up and running. As always, I always like to help the audience keep a track on where everyone is. We are currently watching Robert Hensley, who's currently got the 8th best time. A 17:7:30 is his best in the practice. Doing a little bit of wall riding and has spun out. Needs to hold it at the top, and he does. The rest of the traffic will go on the inside as he will take his tow back to pit lane. There's Marlo Duncan also in the pits. Let's go to Rodney Roberts, who's in a new look livery. Still rocking the Vision Corsa, but in a sky blue main color scheme this time around. Going with the sky blue and the wait, is that the blue? Is that the blue I think it is? Is that the blue I think it is? Very well could be. We're going to have a look all around the car. We're going to go to the rear right. See, what are we looking at here? Just a good old Vision Corsa livery as Vision Corsa deserves. Did he just go down the wrong road? I think he did. That has happened from time to time. Here's Micah Mixer in the white and blue VRL livery as he rocked last week over at Mid-Ohio, where he was poised for a victory, had an unfortunate disconnect, was battling back, and the latency may be causing an issue again. The infield of dreams. That's a good pun. That's a good pun for you baseball knowers. Watch out. I believe that is Bob Gangler on the inside, and Mike Mixer will have an easy time getting around. Gangler letting him go by. And, of course, the Queen is here and ready to roll, has hit the track, currently has the 2nd best time in practice, a 17:08.9. Pretty good. We say hello to, I believe we did say hello to the Orange Goats last time. Well, I'm going to say hello again. Right now, I don't believe anyone else is on the track. I do know that Kuba will likely have to be gone as the member of race control, so I believe that is currently being sorted as we speak. So Robert Hensley once again gets the watchful eye. Nice and easy. We're going to go on board here. I'm going to find a driver who's on the track. Right, of course, you're not. Let's go on board with Micah. Even side by side, you're going to want to stay in 5th gear for pretty much the whole way around. You, of course, do have to be careful with the lift as you go around that inside corner, especially when you've got a car that close to you. But Micah holding onto this bottom line very well, and I believe Gangler gave way and is now directly behind him. Both of them are just going to hold 5th, are going to stay along the bottom here, as holding 5th gear will allow you to swing out to the top of the track as you make your exit out of the corner. Looks like Gangler might have had a later turn in than he wanted, and so will have to fall back just a little bit. Oh, a bit of a dink into the wall, and Micah, his line a little bit compromised, but does save it for the most part. And it looks like Gangler gave him the room, and so the two of them will stay in tandem. Eight drivers have hit the track so far. Joe Nerton has our best practice time. Marlo Duncan in 2nd at the moment. Micah Mixer right now sitting in 4th, but the qualifying is where this guy shines the most. And that's saying something, given his racing pedigree. Not the halfway mark. This practice session goes on for 30 minutes. We kick this off at the halfway mark. Looks like these two drivers are the only ones on the track at the moment. No, Gangler, watch it. A little bit of a wibbly wobbly. Still a little bit wibbly wobbly. As Mark Camini has gone into the pits. There's Alex Jones hanging out. Robert Hensley behind him. Bob Gangwer and no one else. So it'll be Bob Gangwer now soloing on the track. Got a little bit of help from Micah with the draft. Has the 5th best time in our practice session as Nick Polliard has stepped on up. There's the ping. Looks like Polliard has responded to it and is now logged in. Got to make sure. No, I'm not going to do that. Rod, I see you into the Discord. That's very fair. That's very fair, very valid. Get your rest. Oh, boy. And there will be Gangwer heading into the pits. I do believe there was another car on the track. There's Robert Hensley. He's got some company. I think it's Mark Camini behind him, and it is. There's Rodney Roberts. We're good. Oh, Mark Camini goes to his 6th gear, huh? I'm not too sure about that, as the problem with going into 6th gear is you don't stay very high in your rev range, and so you can end up losing a bit of speed because you're not putting out the most power, so to speak. You typically want to stay in the rev range, high in the rev range, as high as you can go, from my understanding of the good old racecraft. Uh-oh, he's gone too low, and he's going to crash into the wall. And there's no way to avoid it. He's spinning down the track. And now the rest of the drivers will have to dodge all the debris, and they do just that. We'll go to Rodney Roberts now. As believe me, it's very possible that we will see more than one of those today. A lot of the drivers were struggling on the Iowa Speedway earlier, but that was due to the game update that had recently taken place. Super low, huh? Interesting. I wasn't expecting that. All right, we will bump that up and let's bump it up like this. Take our 4 steps down, and this should be better. We're in the yellow now. Just want to make sure I'm not clipping, and, you know, when you're in the yellow, you're fine. Just be careful. Matthew Bird has logged on in. How are we sounding now, Marlo? Looking better? We doing better? Rodney Roberts headed to pit lane. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Windows. You're so kind. And Micah Mixer now has the best time in the lobby, is the first driver to get into the 16s, a 9.68 to be precise. We're going to take a small break on my end. We're going to keep this on Micah for now. 5.5 minutes left in the practice session. We'll be right back. Well, I see we are over in pit lane and we're going to the scenic view, which tells me that Micah is not on the track at the moment. Can I find someone who is? There's Gangwer. Bob Gangwer on the track. We've got Matthew Bird in here as well, so 10 drivers ready for today's action. Heads up! Matthew Bird hopping onto the track. In the nitrous livery. Nice. Three minutes to go until the end of our practice session. We'll go into qualifying. Gangwer's had an incident and is headed down to pit lane now. Looks to be okay. Bird's first time on the board. 9th on the board. An 18-3-4-2. Weekend numbers. It's a 3-5-2. Can't read. Can't read. Bad streamer. A nice improvement there is now into the 17-7s. Going a 7-7-9. Way on the inside now, looking to get a best lap time. Why is my neck hurting? Nice! Moves up past Hensley. 17-4. 4-5. Pollard, not on the track. Matthew Bird on the track. Should be the last lap that comes on in before we go to the driver's meeting in pit lane. Can't move past Alex Jones. Heads up! Nice save! Well done, Matthew Bird. That's clip-worthy right there. Hensley, what are you doing? Excuse me. Jeez. Guess my stomach decided to say hi. It's been doing this all day. It will get worse. Oh, they go forward right now. It's just more convenient that it's set up like that. You see Rod's car there on the right side of your screen. It's on a mixed camera angle right now, so this is a static one. So actually, how about we just keep it there? We watch as Gangwer and Hensley go by. Two of them want to get as much practice as they can in. So Gangwer's best time current. Oh, wow. Micah actually improved his lap time. He is now a 16:9:32. Missed that part. Okay. That's pretty good. Joe Nurton ever so close to getting into the 16s. Just not able to do it. 17:0:10, I believe. Yeah, 17:0:10. That's pretty good. Hensley and Gangwer now into the pits as we move into the qualifying session in 5 seconds' time. A little slide. Nice. 10 drivers on the board for today. And let us start. I want to look at Pollard, but I don't think he's going to go on the track first. Ow, my neck. Can I get somebody? Aha, there's Micah. Now, as you can see, he's revving this engine up, and the reason for that is you get heat in the engine early, which means your engine is going to be performing better as you go around the track more and more. This is a strategy often used to just heat the car up. A lot of series do allow for this. I believe there are discussions of potentially banning this tactic. But while you have it, use it while you got it. And so we'll see Rodney Roberts go out on the track. No, don't tell me there's a frog on there. Do not tell me there is a frog on there. Alex Jones gets the first qualifying time, a 17.83, with Joe Nerton close behind. Rod taking his time and building up speed. Matthew Bird on the board with a 17.447, who pinged me. Rodney Roberts' first lap time will be in the 18s and 18.057. I can read. Let's go. Oh, good Lord. All right, I'm having a day, it seems. Rodney going around yet again. I want to see what other times he gets. As Marlo Duncan's first lap time will be in the 17.5s. Joe Nerton's best so far, a 17.05, and Rodney unable to beat that. There are going to be strange noises, and I apologize. He's just still revving it up. Mark Kumini now on the track. Currently the fifth best time, all these times within 2/10 of each other. Now, shall we check in on the rev bomb? He's on the track. He is chat. He's driving. We'll watch Micah. He's got that engine nice and hot. This is not a lap time. This is the out lap. And now let's roll. He does go into sixth gear. I actually want to stay on the roll bar the whole time. I want to watch that. He goes into sixth gear at turn entry. I think he's building up speed right now. These are on, it looks to be the black walls. That was a weird weave, and it got him a 16.95. The weird weave is because he wanted the bottom to get to the line earlier, and it gets him pole position. A 16.952 for Micah Mixer. Bob Gangwer going around the track, an 0462 behind Mixer. Looking to improve that here. Well, this looks like a decent lap time. And decent it is. Moves up to sixth. And what Gangwer is doing is he's dropping down a gear to stay really high in the rev range in order to maintain that engine going as hard as it can, as that's usually when you get the most speed out of your car. With that lap unable to improve the lap time, and so will remain at sixth. And I believe, oh, we got Pollard here. He'll also start revving this thing up. Fair enough. Nearly spun it. That's fine. Pollard in the Joker green. Joker purple green. Let's stick around with Pollard. He got an incident on the board. For what? I don't know. Hopefully the mic levels are good now. Apparently they were super low before, which is unusual. I didn't bump them up by that much. Mostly because I can't. All right, past the out lap we go. Like, they were at the top of the green. His green flag here for Pollard. Halfway through this qualifying session, the only driver remaining will be Robert Hensley, and I believe he will be staying out of the track. First lap time for Pollard will be, should be, okay, yeah. It's a little bit slow to start. Still building up speed a little bit here, as he's trying to stay hard on the inside. This track doesn't really suit that kind of style, unfortunately. And so still a ways back. will get a better lap time here. Yeah, I just think this style isn't working for this track. That's the problem. The regular speedways don't exactly like you staying hard on the inside the entire time. It's good race practice, though, because you need to stay, if you're going to stay on the inside, you're going to want to do so in a lower gear. Well, not so much a lower gear, but more so you want to learn how to back off and hold that line. White flag comes out for Polliard, 9/10 behind Mixer. He'll be at the back of the field. He'll have Hensley join him over in row 5. We'll have 5 rows of racing. And so I believe that will bring us to a close for a qualifying session. I see no one else hitting the track. I'm not hitting the track. I'm not in the lobby, technically. You know? Hello, iRacing Marshall. He's looking out for something. That hand is nowhere close to the hat. The fastest short track on the planet. Is that so, Iowa? Corn! Anyway. Sorry, it's just being silly. And if it's going to be silly, I'm going to be silly with it. We'll put the silliness away for now, though, as we go back to the schedule. Our next race will be over on the Detroit Grand Prix. We'll get to bring back that push-to-pass little thing that I brought in, which is nice. We'll then head to the Pocono Raceway. I unfortunately will not be there for that. I fly out of my home state that very day, and I will not be available for a broadcast for that race. At least I don't think so, because I can't really bring the equipment I need for a good broadcast on a plane. Unfortunately. I will be back for the Barber Motorsport Grand Prix and, of course, the Michigan International Speedway. And just a reminder of our standings one more time. Currently, it's Micah Mixer in the lead in the series. Marlo Duncan's got a ways to go, but we'll get a good chance to, at the very least, leapfrog Fontaine, who is not in this race and is not registered for those last place points. And so Marlo should, at the very least, be able to jump up to 4th in the series, and some better performances should help keep things better and better and better for the Queen. uh, 1.5 minutes remaining until we get done with this qualifying session. As we'll go through the rest of our standings. It's Lesenby, Torrance. Roberts will get a good chance to move up past Torrance. And with a good result, might actually bump up to 11th and get past Lesenby. I believe Matthew Bird, with a good result, can also shoot past Torrance. I don't think Lesenby is a possibility, though. I think, as a matter of fact, Rodney might also be out of it, because that's 35 points. You could that's 38 points. You could leapfrog Lesenby in this spot. Unfortunately, with qualifying in 5th, that will not be the case on pole position point. Would need a second or third place finish to outright leapfrog him, and would tie with a 4th. Otherwise, we continue on. Again, Bird will move up for sure. Hensley, with a good race, can definitely move up. And Gangler is in the top 10, if I'm not mistaken. That he is, and, well, Joe Nerton's on the track, so we'll not be able to leapfrog him without a spectacular result from Bob Gangler and Joe Nerton having a disastrous run. Woot woot. We'll put this away and get ourselves ready as we are close to the beginning of our qualifying session, coming to a close and moving on over into the gridding phase. We'll give it time for the session to close. As a reminder, you are watching Season 4 of the Vision Corsa IndyCar Series, presented by the Prodigy Racing Association. Let's get our grid on the board. Our pole position driver is Micah Mixer with a 16.952. Joe Nerton will be beside him in row 1 with that 17.05. It's Matthew Bird and Matthias Marcomini who will be on row 2, followed by Rodney Roberts in 5th. Bob Gangwer taking 6th in the red, white, and blue. In P7 will be Marlo Duncan back to the red and yellow livery, joining Alex Jones on row 4. It'll be Nick Polliard on row 5, and it looks like this will send Robert Hensley to row 6th for the start of this race. He'll be behind Polliard and will have to stay there until the green flag goes live. We will be starting from pit lane and loop our way around the track and get those green flags waving. The red light is on, and so the drivers will not be allowed to remain in the pits. Our outside drivers will go way on the outside. All 4 of them will do just that, nice and simple. Micah Mixer, currently your pole position driver, will hold the lead to start this race. Had a perfect season, unfortunately ruined due to poor connection at Mid-Ohio, is looking to avoid the same fate tonight and at least continue his reputation here in Season 4. Was potentially poised at threatening Griffiths for the top spot in Season 3, but joining the season late's not going to help in that regard. But now that he's been here all of Season 4, Micah's in a good spot to really give himself some breathing room. So let's get our grid and pieces back up. Here in Season 4 of the Vision Corsa IndyCar Series presented by the Prodigy Racing Association. We go to turn 3. And the pace car will be sticking with us all the way to pit road. Unfortunately, pre-rolls will have to be on for some of this race. But no matter, the lights are ready, and we will bring you the race nonetheless. We are green flag racing at Iowa Speedway, and 2 drivers nearly spin. It immediately gives Nerton and Marcomini a chance to jump up ahead. A little bit too hard on the gas were Mixer and Bird, and so Joe Nerton jumps up to an early lead. And around turn 2 they'll go. Mixer immediately wants that inside and aggressively will move back up to the lead. Mixer, Nerton, Marcomini in the top 3. Gangwer in 4th with Bird, all the way down to 6th, now behind Alex Jones. As we're going to go sky high here for this battle for 5th at the moment. Currently led by Alex Jones, has Duncan right behind him. Duncan trying to contend with the dirty air that will be a problem for her as we go along, and has to move down to the inside with Jones making a move on the outside, and the 2 of them have to separate and slow each other down. Potentially some trouble up ahead as Gangwer loses his spot out to Marcomini. Duncan side by side with Jones for that moment and is past Alex Jones for P5, and Bird will get by him as well and take P6 away. We've seen this story before. Joe Nerton in the lead with Micah Mixer in P2. This time it's Marcomini and Gangwer right behind him at 3 and 4. Marlo Duncan trying to shoot back up the standings. Currently in P5, has a ways to go, but making good gains out there. We're going to have 125 laps. That sounds like a lot, but when you think about it, this race is still set to take 45 minutes, maybe. 17 seconds a lap. So about a minute will have passed. About a minute 10 will have passed in 4 laps. You multiply that by 30. Heads up, side by side goes Mixer and Nerton, and Mixer will get ahead. Nice pass there from Micah Mixer to get back to the lead. In about a minute 10, you're 4 laps in. Multiply that by 31. We're going to do some quick math for a minute. 31 minutes. plus 310. That's 36. That's a 40-minute race with pit stops included. So this camera is going to be doing a whole lot of panning, a whole lot of swiveling, and some tilting as well, as Nerton ends up scraping the wall a little bit. Still holds on to that P2 spot, but Micah Mixer gaining an advantage more and more as the laps compound. Now 8.5 tenths up on Nerton. So go back to Marlo Duncan here, looking for a move on Gangler. Goes to the inside here at turn 4 and will make the move stick and move up to P4. Matthew Bird right behind Gangler as well. Could make things interesting. And again, you can see Duncan is going to just hold this in 5th gear the whole way around the track. Especially if you are full sending it on the fuel, you're going to be holding that 5th gear all the way around the track. Oh, heads up! Marlo sent it a bit too hard. Goes spinning and hits the wall. And it brings out the first caution of the race as the car ended up in the middle of the road. And the pace car is on the way out. And everyone slows on up to give the pace car room. The meatball flag is out for Duncan. I believe Mixer will be given grace as far as the pace car is concerned. Typically, if you go past the pace car, it is a black flag. However, Mixer, especially now that he's waiting for the pace car to go by, will likely not have that problem to deal with. The red lights are on. The cars are headed into pit lane. I do not know if pit lane is open at the moment. What we do know is every driver is heading in for a stop. Every single one of them. Marlo Duncan and Robert Hensley going back and forth. And part of the advantage of pole position, especially if you go into pits first, you got no worries sneaking your way through. You can go through however many boxes you want, pretty much. Marcomini nearly gets past Mixer at the line. Of course, that doesn't necessarily matter as much here in the IndyCar series, especially because you can't really, gain that much of an advantage. You're all going full speed. But still, that is the thing people pay attention to. Here's Marlo Duncan's crash. Ends up just too far on the outside. I heard that right rear collects the wall as well. And this ends up causing a yellow flag with the car in a dangerous position. Just unfortunate for Duncan. Does have the quick repair to use, of course. That is the only one she will get. The Vision Corsa IndyCar Series presented by the Prodigy Racing Association has its fair share of groups of supporters. Of course, we have Vision Corsa, the namesake of the IndyCar Series. Grid Finder, who has been a wondrous help as far as helping get series together, and a special event coming up very soon for the UK's Mental Health Week. PRA will be helping them in one of those regards. HSW, of course, has also been giving us quite a bit of a hand, and we thank them for their contributions to the PRA. These people demand that I put my own logo on this, so I guess it's there now. Hello, I yell at things. We have our penguin for the unfortunate loss of Javier Lopez, and we, of course, wish him and his family our deepest condolences and the best of wishes. And, of course, the Prodigy Racing Association here with you today, the Prodigy Racing Association Network, where you're watching this stream also on YouTube, and the Rev Limit Workshop, working with Thomas, I believe the name is Coonan. Thomas Coonan, who's been helping some of our drivers with their liveries and does put in some excellent work in the livery workshop. And Sim Racer Hub, where you can find all the standings and statistics of this series, including the upcoming schedule of the Vision Corsa IndyCar series. Back onto the track we go. The pace car about to head off is off the track, and the green flag is back out. Let us get back underway. No spin-outs this time around. Nice and easy there from Mixer this time. Marcomini wants to put the pressure on immediately. We're going to go a little bit sky high here. This is, again, Alex Jones in P5, battled here by Bob Gangwer, who will get by here on the inside for the moment, but the overspeed for Alex Jones will give him an advantage. But that bump in the wall is not going to help. That right side, so heads up. That right side suspension might have taken some damage. The speed takes the damage, and Gangwer, a little bit slow on the inside, ends up causing Alex Jones to collide into him. And with a front wing potentially damaged, Alex Jones may have to go into the pits. His run compromised, the front wing damaged. It's getting a little bit sketchy for him to hold on to this car. Side by side with Duncan, maybe a bit of a tap into the wall as well. As trying to go onto the inside is Roberts, and Duncan stuck on the worst side of it. But Roberts cannot hold the position, has to back off. Jones nearly making contact with Pollard. The two of them getting through it okay. A lot of drama here in the battle for P6. What a good word, drama. Pollard will get by. Duncan trying to use the speed, did not have the room. Had to back off and concede the position to Pollard. Getting choked out on that outside. Now has room on the inside. Gets alongside for Pollard. Pollard has a bit of overspeed to work with. Duncan on that inside does get by. Can she hold it though is the question. Pollard's got speed. Duncan's still there. They almost come close and make contact, but they do separate in time, and Pollard shoots way, way out on the outside. And Duncan will hold on to sixth. Pollard now battling with Roberts for P8 and gets ahead. As we move up the track here to Micah Mixer, who now holds an 8/10 lead on Marcomini, who is ahead of Bird, who holds third over Nerton. Looks like Marcomini's had a bit of a slow run on the inside, and Matthew Bird will get by. Nerton's going to have a chance at him as well. Goes to the inside hard and gets ahead. Now has to hold that speed on this inside line. And does just that, but it could be an over-under. It's not available for Marcomini. Joe Nerton to third. .100 laps to go. A disappearing Bird. Now we're back underway. Oh, heads up. A little bit of a wibbly-wobbly from Marcomini. Battle for P6 getting spicy as Alex Jones and Marlo Duncan still going at it. Marlo Duncan ducks to the inside, a look to get that position back. Holds it for now and loops around the corner and will hold on to sixth. Well, the problem now is that she's about a second and a half behind Gangwer, so the draft will be a little bit weak, which in one hand can be a good thing, but in another, very, very bad, as she will not have the speed boost from a draft. But Alex Jones is going to lose some speed of his own with his clip into the wall. Oh, and Jones has hit the wall again, and it's careening to the inside barrier. It looks like he does dodge the worst of it, but loses a lot of speed in the process. Oh. I missed that part of it. Robert Hensley goes for a spin into the infield grass, and we'll have another look at exactly what happened here. This is behind everyone else. You heard a bit of a slide. The overcorrection to avoid the wall, and away he goes into the grass. This one does not bring out the caution because this is off the track, and so everyone is safe. Mixer, pretty safe from the traffic. Currently 2.5 seconds ahead of Nerton. I want to look at some lap times. You know, sometimes I just want to see what the lap times are like. A 17.3 from Mixer. 17.49. Oh, little wobble. Matthew Bird putting pressure on Nerton. I saw that much. Pollard and Roberts going to battle. We'll keep that on screen for now as we go around the track some more. No flags are out. That's where the empty space, that's what would occupy that empty space. 2/10 down on that lap time, and it looks like Nerton with a bit of a slow exit of turn 4 concedes the position to Matthew Bird. That time was 17.8. Matthew Bird, the best lap time of that lap. No, actually. Is Marlon talking? Oh, no! Matthew Bird loses control on the outside and goes tumbling into the infield. He is able to get back on the track, but will lose the spot. And Alex Jones coming around the outside should get this back. Nerton battling with Mark Camini now here for P2. Oh no! Mark Camini's taking a tumble. And this one will bring out the yellow flag as Mark Camini's car is in the track and may have taken someone with him. It did. Pollard gets caught. And I think we're going to see a lot of this kind of crash. We'll start with Matthew Bird. Went a little bit below the apron. I don't know. I don't know this track enough to know exactly what's causing that little snap. But riding high on the outside on exit has been a dangerous game, and not everyone has survived it. Now it looks like he's turning the wheel just too much and collects into the wall and ends up on the track. What are you supposed to do in that regard? This is the guy I want to see. You look ahead of you and you'll see the car of Mark Camini end up on the track as it slowly rides up, and he hits the wall too. He had room to avoid that. Yeah. Everyone goes to pit lane again. Everyone. Something is up loose all of a sudden. I was good, then gone. Oh, Hensley. Oh, that's not good. What'd you end up wrecking as well? That's not good. Oh, but yeah, we watched that wreck. Did this happen in the Hang on, what's going on here? There is a frog on my screen. Okay, cool. So I, unfortunately, don't have an answer for you. That sucks. Mark Camini and Pollard with the meatball flag. I've got hiccups. I'm going to go relieve them. Some really good insight here from Aaron in the chat. The exit of corners is where the car can sometimes unload pretty oddly, and if you've got the wheel turned a little too much in just the right spot, it's going around on you. And unfortunately, Pollard and Mark Camini are going to be down a couple laps on damage repairs. That really sucks. Did they tow? I think they had to. Unfortunately, we will have an ad break here in 7 minutes' time. So for those of you watching, I sincerely apologize for that. Unfortunately, those ads will not be stoppable. but they will help us get rid of pre-rolls, so anyone else who hops into the stream during the next hour will not be hit with a pre-roll, and we will be good to go for the rest of the race. Pollard is in an awkward spot here on the start, and will stay low on the inside. Oh no! Immediately Gangwer's gone around on the restart. Too much on the gas on that outside lip, and he gets sent around. Bob Gangwer losing a ton of time now as Mixer off to the races immediately. Well, it looks like Rodney Roberts may have had something similar here. Nah, I think he was just freaking out. One of those was a legitimate crash. Here's Matthew Bird on the inside of Roberts here for P5. My inexperience, as usual, makes... It's all right, Hensley, dude. You're okay. Honestly, the way that you ride out there, you can hang in there pretty well with some of these guys. Don't rag on yourself too much, man. I mean, if you want to talk inexperience, Robert, I can tell you all my history with the driving in the IndyCar series. There's not a lot of it, but a lot happened. Ask Brad Morath how that went. Speaking of which, hope Brad's been doing okay. I haven't heard from him in a while. Uh-oh, that was wall crunchy. You don't want the wall crunchies, and you do not want to get that close. I think this is Mark Domini, who is on top of Rodney Roberts. Backs off a little bit and gives the room. A little wall scraping, but that may also be netcode related. Yeah, Iowa Speedway has been looking to be a brutal track for these drivers, with the car often unloading unexpectedly on them, and sometimes at the worst of times. So right now, Micah Mixer does have some company up front. I believe that is a lap car. That it is. Although that could be oh, that's Bob Gangwer. So that's someone he wants to lap. It happens. It happens to Matthias too. Yeah, kid. Yeah. Just learning, having fun. Appreciate everyone. Of course. Yeah, dude. End of the day, we're here to have fun and help each other grow. Help each other be better. More betterer. That doesn't make sense. 40% of the... Yeah, 40% of the way through this race, I think. That's not numbers. No, hold on. 2 fifths? Is that 2 fifths? It is 2 fifths. I'm only here to have fun. Look, that's the reason I'm not driving. I would not be having fun driving. So I just go up here and just yap. And we very much appreciate you being here, Robert, by the way. Right now, the main focus will be the battle for second with Joe Nurton and Marlo Duncan in this heated battle. Currently, Marlo about a third of a second behind Nurton, who himself, a second and a half down, is trying to keep up with Mixer in these lap times. He ended up better that time around. The oversleep. Oh, no, Joe Nurton! Oh, no! Aaron oversleeps. Joe Nurton over-rotates. Into the wall he goes. Back end first. And has to limp this car down to pit lane. Oh, no. Joe Nurton, no! It'll give Marlo Duncan second place, but she's got a long ways to go. As we will have to watch that one back. I'm sorry, Joe, to do this to you, but we have to. I think it was off the track. The car looked like it was already unloading, and he just couldn't stop it. Around he goes. Yeah, he stayed on the inside. He was below the white line, so it counts as off track, therefore not a danger. That's why that's not a caution. I'm fairly certain. He's technically out of the way and in pit entry. And unfortunately for him, will we have broadcasts like this for the Nostalgia Series? Unfortunately, I can't provide those because not only have I been bowling all season for the Nostalgia Series, also I work really early mornings now. And so I'll still be able to finish this season for the IndyCar Series, but I wake up at 5 in the morning. Yeah, it's going to be different commentators. I will not be doing them. I would love to, but I can't. I believe, is Justin on that one? Aaron, it's Justin and company, right? He's got some help. Okay, cool. Justin Phoenix, one of the main heads behind the Prodigy Racing Association. He handles the broadcast for that, and yeah, from what I remember, he does pretty awesome work. So I would be excited to watch those. Ads incoming in a minute. We're watching Micah Mixer at the moment, looking to get through the lap traffic, including the now 2 laps behind Joe Norton, who is just behind Bob Gangwer, who is currently the last car on the lead lap. Also, Hitman, of course, you can expect things to look a little bit different. I have a different broadcasting and production style than Justin might have, as might any other broadcaster the Prodigy Racing Association might have. So, obviously expect a different product, but accept that same result of those guys put out some good stuff. Unfortunately, we have to go to our ad break now. We'll be halfway through this race. When we return, we'll get to see if Micah can hold on to this lead or if the track 2 will claim victim to him. We'll be back with more of Season 4 of the Vision Corsa IndyCar Series. Currently our stream in the ad break, and so I believe pre-rolls only last a few more minutes, and I wonder, it is allegedly not gone off. I think it's waiting to like For now, assuming we're not in the world of ads, Joe Norton has gotten past Gangwer. Uh-oh, he's back. Oh, heads up. On the inside goes Micah Mixer. Will snap down to the bottom and take that position away. Gangler now a lap down. As Micah Mixer. Nice and steady. Hold it. Hold her. There it is. Wow, that takes a while. 3 minutes. Are you kidding me? All right, whatever. I did not ask for this. And that means no pre-rolls, that means no pre-rolls. We'll take it. I know, Aaron, you're still hanging around because you've got that nice little badge next to your name. If I had any level of graphic design expertise, I would make sub badges for us. Like that kid. Oh, no! Well, Mike is playing with fire a little bit, going below that apron line. Right now, the main battle taking place is the battle for third with Alex Jones holding on to that. Matthew Bird behind him and Rodney Roberts behind him. Uh-oh. Matthew Bird with a vanishing act. That's a nice move by Bird. They nearly come together, but they stay off each other's car just enough. Uh-oh, Rodney. Rodney, that's the wall. You don't want to hit the wall. The wall, not good. Not good for your car. Oh, Mark Camini's out. Oh, that stinks. Nine in the race, which is still respectable. No one's hopped in the IndyCar chat yet. to voice their displeasure. I think it's just, all right. Okay. 1 minute left on the ad break. Sorry, I'm gonna just do. This is one cat video I saw one time. It was just a cat who was sitting in the backseat of the car, watching all these cars go by and can't hear the engine noise and starts making them stuff. Sorry, I was just doing that. I'm just being a bit silly as we wait for our ad break to come to a close so we can get back to the action. Welcome back, everyone, here to Iowa Speedway here at Season 4 of the Vision Corsa IndyCar Series presented by the Prodigy Racing Association. We're currently watching as Micah Mixer, with 48 laps remaining, holds onto the lead and has extended that lead to 3.5 seconds. And at this point, I don't think the lap times are going to be necessary. The only thing that's going to matter is cleanliness. Micah's just got to keep this car on the road and not in the wall. I've been looking very strong in that regard. Unfortunately, we have lost another driver. Mark Camini has exited the race at this point. Rodney Roberts has decided he wanted to kiss the wall a few times, and as a result, look at what it's done. Look, you lost your battle with, oh, what's happened? Marlowe, no, Marlowe, what happened to Marlowe? I think she just went to the pits because she wanted to. The car doesn't look damaged. That's Hensley. That's Hensley's skid marks, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, Marlo Duncan just goes into pit lane for a pit stop. We've been in green flag racing for quite a bit, and so some of these drivers will have to head to pit lane at some point. And it looks like Micah Mixer will be one of them, right in the fuel window. Yep. It's for sure in the fuel window. I just got scared for a bit because I kind of forgot that's a thing. And so these drivers will be banking on this going to green flag racing the rest of the way with 44 laps to go. Duncan back on the track will look to get the lap back as in goes Matthew Bird. And with Mixer still in pit lane, could this be the move that shoots Marlo Duncan up to the lead? It's going to be close. Where's Mixer on the track? He's out there. Of course he is. Micah Mixer has just been superb with his fuel. Bird spun on pit road. No! Matthew Bird, no! My boy! What have you done to my boy? We're going to have to watch it back. That's Rodney. Oh, no. Why is Rodney on the board? Don't tell me he did the same thing. Uh-oh. Why did I hear crunching? No, Rodney, no! Oh, and a caution comes out, and it looks like Pollard is the reason why. Oh. Well, I guess we got to go through a few things. First up, Bird, my boy, what happened to you? Slowing down to go into pit lane. Oh, no. Oh, that's a rough one. And now, Pollard back on the track at this point. Oh, no. Was trying to go into pit lane and missed the entry. And braking while turning. Yeah, that's what's going to happen. And he's on track. He's out of the pit entry window. And that it will bring out the caution flag, which for Micah, probably not what he wanted to see, because now there's this. Uh-oh. Oh, Marlo! Oh, no! Marlo! I don't know why that's a yellow, but it is. I think it's looking at the pit entry. I don't think it's looking at the track line. I think it's looking at pit. I would agree that probably shouldn't be a yellow flag. Coob, I can't touch yellow flags. You know that. Yeah, it has to be pit window. It has to be looking at the pit line and not like the track. Because I think it's giving room for drivers to be on the apron if they want to do that. No, yes, it would be. No, it's not. It's really strict about that, I think. Well, it's giving them room to go down to the pit line if they, like, have to get back on the track later than they want to because the track is full of cars, perhaps. But then once you're past the pit entry line, you should be on the track. You cannot go down the apron. Because I was a no-apron track, right? What is Pollard doing? Look, I'm not an oval expert, all right? I don't know what's happening with these guys back here. This race has kind of gotten into a mess. 39 laps to go. Micah Mixer in the lead with Joe Norton in second and Marlo Duncan in third. It currently lists Rodney Roberts as having fourth with Alex Jones in fifth, which is currently not the case. Yeah, if you want to keep speed, you shouldn't be on the apron. But like, are there tracks that like outright forbid you being on the apron? Like you'll get a black if you go down to the apron? Anyways, the lights of the pace car go out. This will be our last time around the track. I am at least aware that like if you want to hold on to your speed, you can't go down the apron, because you'll have to travel up the apron, and going up from flat to cambered, death sentence. No, but it punishes you in other ways, like spinning your car into the ether. We've watched that a few times. Sorry, Lesenby. I hate to call him out like that, but like that's what happened. It's a bit mean, but it does serve as a cautionary tale. Don't go down into the apron. Ow. But yeah, today we have learned it'll bring out a yellow if you are in the infield, but before the infield grass. Let's go green flag racing. Hopefully one more time. It's Micah Mixer in the lead, Joe Norton second, Marlo Duncan in third. And it'll hold that way for the start of the race as Rodney Roberts in fifth will be letting the lapped traffic go by. As my wrist is hurting for some reason. I do not know why. What I do know is Micah's got a pretty good lead so far, about half a second, with 36 laps remaining. Uh-oh, that's a blink. I don't want to see that. Nor does Micah, but he's on. I think I hurt my wrist or something. Down hard on the inside go all the drivers as Duncan in third, trying to climb up the standings. Norton is a driver she's looking to beat and move ahead of. The big question will be, can Micah keep it clean for the last 34? Because that's pretty much the secret at this point. Just keep that car on the track and don't bin it. Holds on out of exit of turn 4 this time around. Ow, it's pulsing bad. Yeah, good thing I'm not racing today, because if my wrist is hurting, just existing here today, it would be dead on this track. All of the positions have remained stable so far, so we stay focused on Micah. In his journey to continue this dominant season, his perfection ruined by poor connection at Mid-Ohio, but still looks to maintain a serious bit of control over the IndyCar series. and looking to hold on to that first place spot by quite the margin. Currently 27 points ahead of Alex Jones. Has already grabbed the qualifying points. But Joe Nerton's starting to get a bit threatening. We've seen this before. It's always one thing to catch up to the driver in front. It's another thing to pass him. We've seen it time and time again. These drivers, these cars are hard to pass. And now you can see exactly why, because you don't have the clean draft to work with to just swing you out to the outside and full send it. Nerton clips the wall and loses a ton of speed and may have lost his best chance at catching up to Mixer. And may have even ruined the right side suspension. Marlo Duncan starting to catch up to him. And could look for a move. Dirty air's fun. Marlo trying to make good use of the move to the inside. Is ahead and stays ahead.
Isn't dirty air just great, man? Isn't it just the best thing in the world?
Why does Pollard have another incident point? They probably backed off, and it was like, hey, you slow down too much. Incident. Pollard has been staying towards the back of the pack this race. Currently in P8. Still a relatively good result. His gang wear will not be, according to this, although Joe Nerton's losing more positions, I think the car got damaged on that tap in the wall. I think the right side suspension took a hit. And now he's struggling to keep up, losing positions constantly. Rodney Roberts looking to get one back as well. Dives to the inside, has that wing on the rear wheels, and now is fully alongside to make a move down low. Nerton will hold for now, though, as he can maintain that speed on the outer lane. 22 laps remaining. Mixer far and away in the lead by 2 2/10 seconds. Uh-oh, why is Alex Jones slowing down? What's happening? It's a big spin. Rodney gets collected in it as well, and he goes airborne. Alex Jones loses it, takes one with him, is stuck on the track, and brings out another caution flag. Nerton's got wheel damage. Jones and Roberts have a whole lot more. We're going to watch on here on board with Alex Jones. That reaction is correct, and we have just seen what happens. A little dip into the apron wasn't enough, but he's wiggling all over the place, taps the wall as he turns the wheel, crunches his nose into the inside barrier, and away goes Roberts. I'll watch that again, this time getting Roberts' perspective on it. Is Roberts vanished? What happened? Have I hit the wrong thing? Hello? Okay, it's straight. Nice dodge by Nerton. Okay, I don't exactly know what's going on here. I want to watch the replay from this guy's perspective. So in front, 2 cars ahead, you can see Alex Jones clips the wall, immediately goes torpedoing. What's Rod supposed to do in that? Like, he's just screwed. Poor Rodney. Gets sent airborne. We got there eventually. All right, Aaron, shut up. You said nothing, but you said everything. So it'll be Mixer, Duncan, Nerton. There's some odd contact for the wall with the wall, indeed. I don't know exactly what it was. I want to, you know what? We're going to take one more look at that. We're going to go right front suspension, and I want to slow this down. There we go. I I think it's the right front that makes contact. Yep, the right front makes contact as he's turning the wheel. I think that's what's going on. It's as he's turning the wheel, it forces the wheel to go around even more and just careens him into the wall. Because, again, maybe the car unloaded off of that hit. If it was the rear right, I would have been really confused. But the front right, I think, makes sense. My thinking is that got like the wheel touches. It's basically perpendicular. Wheel turns to the left. The back of the right front wheel hits the wall and ejects him. And the car unloads because it's Iowa. It's a bit of iRacing physics, but I think there is something in there that makes sense. Jones with a rage quit. It makes sense. I don't blame him. I would be upset at that too. I think there's something to it. I also think that was funky. Conclusion. This game's weird. But it's weird from a weird place. Of physics. You can't tell me physics doesn't get a little strange sometimes. Oh, did I bend that? Oh, I think I bent that cord. That's not good. These are my most fun broadcasts where I can just kind of yap. Well, no more yapping. We got a race to look at because we're green flag racing one more time. 17. Oh, my God, Marlowe, no! And immediately the yellow flag is out again. Oh, no, a bad start from Marlowe Duncan. And she'll go down to fourth. It's not the worst loss in the world, but, man. Oh, the rough starts have been destroying people. What is it about Iowa that does that? Like, it's just a restart. What's causing that? I want to know. Also, not a caution. Like, why would the car unload like that off of restart? Is it because she was turning the wheel a little as she was gassing it? Oh, Mixer's in the pits. And Marlowe's going to have to go too. Just spun the tires, so yeah, just too much on the gas. Okay. And Bob Gangwer will get rung around. He's actually going to get a lap back. Cold tires, cold track. I don't think her tires were that cold, though. She was out there for a while. She was out there for like 20 laps, I think. But if the track is ice cold, like, it's still not going to help. Aaron, I can't pull up the window because then it's going to look like crap. Can you please tell me what the track temperature currently says? .68. And these tires heat up to, like, what, 110? Something like that? Or way more, probably, because I don't know cars. But, like, I know there's a quite big disparity between your standard tire temp and what the track is right now. These tires are probably pretty hot. 110 Celsius? 230 degrees Fahrenheit? See, that disparity's not exactly going to help. Good Lord. Whoa, watch it, Joe. Whoa. So, The lights are still on. We'll go again. Hopefully no more. Pollard has once again decided to reside on the inside of the track. These cars put a lot of heat through the tire. Yeah, that makes sense. I would also imagine the front right tire is basically on fire the entire way around. Because as you're turning to the left, especially on a cambered surface, that front right is getting grinded into the ground into dust. Fun fact, that's also why in NASCAR you'll often see some teams go with two-tire pit stops, because getting the two tires changed on one side of the car will help cool that side out, while the other side is still plenty fine, as is. Aaron, am I wordsing good? Do I understand oval racing like 5% better than I used to? In goes the pace car. More or less. Hey, I'm not doing too bad. Let's go green flag racing. About 13 laps to go. Yeah, I got that. You're good. I know what that's supposed to be. You're good. You don't got to correct it. As Joe Nurton now in the lead with Matthew Bird in second and Micah Mixer in third. We're going to forget whatever shenanigans are going on in chat and watch as Matthew Bird looks for a move on Nurton. I think Nurton still has the wheel damage from earlier, and it's going to get really interesting. Immediately, it's going to be Bird down to the inside, gets right alongside and squeezes Nurton way out, giving Mixer the room to battle him and get that second place spot away from Nurton. You can't type, I can't talk or drive. We got 10 laps to go. And Matthew Bird looking to hold on for dear life against a Micah Mixer who has been a force to be reckoned with all season long. As we are going to move this camera up a couple spots, let's watch as Matthew Bird defends like his life depends on it, because right now it kind of does. Down to less than a tenth. Inside goes Mixer, but immediately Bird cuts off the line. Matthew Bird trying to play as defensive as he can. Hold the bottom as long as you can hold it. The gap is extended a little bit, but the draft from Mixer is going to give him a run on the outside, maybe. He doesn't have the room. He has to back off. He's going to hunt for a move. 7 laps to go. It's only a matter of time before Micah gets sniffing, and he gets bowled. Not to mention, Bird and Mixer had a bit of a mix-up in the All-Star race. Matthew Bird going up for a move late on Blanco, found Mixer on that outside line and took them both out of the race. And with no caution flag out, Daniel Blanco would take the win there. Now Bird trying to redeem himself with 5 laps to go, not only to not put Mixer into the wall, but hold on to this lead. But he's given Mixer room on the inside, and Mixer takes full advantage. Micah Mixer to the lead with 5 to go. Bird tries to go to the inside and bins it into the infield grass. And with Bird way on the infield grass, no caution will come out, and now Micah's got the lead. Bird tried to react quickly and get that lead back. Unfortunately for him, it ends in his demise. Into the grass he goes. That car destroyed, and I think that will bring an end to his race, especially with the damage that car has suffered. Matthew Bird will lose a spot to Rodney, and his race comes to a close. He'll take home P6, while Micah Mixer, with 2 laps remaining, just needs to avoid the same fate. On board we go. Around turns 3 and 4, it is white flag racing at Iowa Speedway. Marlowe trying to hold on to second. Micah going to take it nice and easy around the track. Quite the gap to work with. Just keep it clean. Around he goes. Micah Mixer, your winner at Iowa Speedway. And we'll watch the move one more time. Is Matthew Bird. Saw Mixer on the inside, immediately wanted to dart down low, but did so in the worst spot on the track on the exit of the turn, and it costs him big time. Into the wall he goes, destroying the car. He'll take home 6th, and Micah Mixer returns to the line, and around he'll go for for yet another race victory here in Season 4 of the Vision Corsa IndyCar Series presented by the Prodigy Racing Association. All the half donuts in the world. And there he goes. And that brings an end to today. As a reminder for our upcoming schedule, we'll head to Detroit Grand Prix at Belle Isle for our next race on the 5th. I'm going to be dead tired for that one, probably. But adapting to a new sleep schedule at that point. The Pocono Raceway I will not be present for. I will be out of state, unfortunately, and cannot bring my equipment. We'll then go to Barber Raceway for one more run and Michigan International Speedway to end the season. This has been the Vision Corsa IndyCar Series. It's been Season 4. I'm Thomas Cuthbert, also known as Orion. I will see you next week as we head to Detroit.